Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Shayla Vernado, the Go Live Queen and your business strategy angel. In this video, I'm going to give you Facebook Live tips and tricks that you haven't heard anywhere else. And these are tips that are going to help you build your business, grow your reach, your engagement, your audience, and ultimately get more income in that pocket. Okay, let's start with tip number one. You are going to want to plan ahead for this, okay? Things that you want to plan ahead for. You want to decide on your main points and decide on what your opening and closing lines are going to be. For example, welcome to this Facebook Live. I'm Shayla Vernado, the founder of Black Girls Wine and your favorite wine lover. That's an opening that's clear, to the point, and they know who you are. You also want to make sure you plan ahead for what your call to action is going to be. How are you going to take those people from watching you on live and making them customers? That first step to doing that is getting them on your list. So have a call to action, have something valuable to offer them that makes them want to keep the conversation going with you. Last but not least, you want to make sure that you have a clear intention for why you're going live. This isn't necessarily just for your audience, it's for you. But that why is what's going to help you define that opening and closing line, okay? And it will also, by the way, help you decide what you're offering for your free value add. My second tip is one of the biggest mistakes I see people make when it comes to going live. And you know what that is? Letting people know that you're going to go live. You gotta give people a heads up so that they can know in advance, okay, that's right, she goes live every single Monday. I gotta make sure I'm there and I'm on time. And you know what? People get busy, they get caught up in their lives. There are 2.86 billion people using Facebook. So if you don't remind them when they are scrolling, they're not gonna be thinking about you. So make sure you set a reminder. Here's my tip for setting a reminder. You can create an event on Facebook that is recurring every single week. And that will let people know, hey, they'll get the reminder and they'll get the notification that you are getting ready to go live because they'll see it come up in their weekly events. That's number one. Number two, you want to make sure that when you do go live, you're letting them know to hit that follow button so that when you go live, they get the notification that you've got something to say. My number three tip is one that I tell all of my clients and I take it very seriously. Pull yourself together for your lives. Now, if you're not a makeup girl, it's okay. Or maybe you're a guy and you don't wear makeup. It's okay. But you want to make sure that you look really, really nice because it's a fact of life that people love beautiful people. And when you come up on their feed and you are together, you've got this nice outfit, you've got these great accessories, you've got, or whatever it is that's about you that's going to make you stand out and look your absolute best. That's what you want to do when you get ready to go live. So when it shows up in their feed, they can see you and know, oh my gosh, I need to watch this. Now, before we go any further, I've got a huge favor to ask of you. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and hit the bell so that you get notified anytime I drop a new video, which is every single Tuesday, filled with all of the business strategy that you need to grow your business and move it forward. Let's get into number 4. We want to make sure that your Facebook Live is a show. So the scheduled date and time every single week is what's going to give people that excitement and that expectation to be in attendance to your lives. Listen, I built my Black Girls Wine weekly show, Wine Down Live, from complete scratch. When I first started, there was no one watching but my mom and dad. I really think my husband was at work the night I started. Like, I'm so serious, no one was on. But the more I showed up, the more I had the show, right? Every single week, and people learned to expect it. And now I average over 500 weekly views, 500 eyes on one business. And you know what? That's paying for no advertising. That is only using the tips that I am going to share with you in a second. All right, so when it comes to your video, you want to make sure, and this is the next tip, that you hook them and state your intention and then introduce yourself. So your Facebook Live should start off something like this. Hey, I'm Shayla Vernado, and today I'm going to teach you the 5 mistakes that I see business owners making when they go live that is making their videos fail miserably. Tune in and keep watching. That was easy, super simple, and you know what? Since that was in the first 10 seconds of the video, they're going to be like, wait a minute, what is this? And they'll keep watching, even on the replay. That's the big thing. You start with your intention and introduction so that on the replay, they're not waiting for you to start or waiting for you to talk, but that you're getting right into it and giving that value up front. Number 6 is look at the camera. Engage, but keep those eyes on the camera. You don't want to get so distracted with the comments that your viewers' comments start running your show. The whole point of them showing up is to get that value that you have to offer them. So you want to make sure you're clear about the value up front so that it helps keep you on track. And then you respond to questions and comments after you have made your key points, okay? So think of it in a flow. You can make a few points and then check the comments. Make 1 point, then check the comments. It also depends on what it is that you're giving them. If you're making a big point that's going to get big responses, then you want to make sure after that point, you're checking your comments and engaging with your audience. Okay, number 7 is a big one. I see a lot of people go live and they don't do this very well. You want to make sure you have 3 to 5 questions so that people will comment on your video. Facebook likes videos that has a ton of likes, that has lots of comments, that has lots of engagement and the audience responding to each other. And the big way to do this is to make sure you ask questions that they can answer. Don't just make statements and expect them to respond. If you want your audience to engage, you have to initiate that conversation. You want to make sure that you have a description for your video that is catchy and interesting and is going to make people want to click that video. One thing that one of my clients did that I suggested for her that went really, really well was to use song lyrics. People love music, and music is the one thing that connects all of us no matter where we're from. If you use song lyrics, they'll click on it just to be interested, and then you'll be telling them all that value and they'll never leave. Now, that's just a tip for a fun style live, right? If you're going live and you're educating them, you want to make sure that you are creating a tagline there in the description that's interesting and catching. So you're thinking like those quick titles, similar to an email subject line. It's kind of a piggyback on the previous point that I made, but make sure you ask them questions that keep the conversation going. So for example, I might say, hey guys, tell me what kind of business do you have and what do you offer in the comments so that I can give you some ideas on Facebook Lives. Then a few minutes later, I may ask a follow-up question that says, okay, now, why do you think your audience would want to go live with you? See how one leads into the other? And there's a whole, as long as you have it so that it snowballs, it'll keep the comments coming. Last but not least, make sure you have a clear call to action. What is it that you want them to do when they log off your live? And if you don't want them to do anything, and this is purely just sharing value, then that's okay. But let me tell you something. People like when you give them something and give them a reason to keep coming back. So if your call to action is, hey, make sure you join me next week because I'll be talking about such and such, then that's a good call to action. Another good call to action is, hey, if you want some more Facebook tips, go ahead, click the link down below, and I've got a free guide that will help you as you prepare for your first Facebook Live. Okay, but no, seriously, click that link down below. I created a Facebook checklist for beginners, and maybe you have been doing Facebook Lives but haven't been using these tips. You want to go ahead and download that checklist because it's a guideline that it'll basically be like having me there with you as you prepare to have a successful Facebook Live that builds your business, builds your brand, and builds your engagement. Make sure you tune in to next week's video because I'm going to be talking about the benefits of using Facebook Live versus IG Live. I use both, but there's one that I prefer. So make sure you come back next week to see that video. Thanks for watching.